I'm going to kill someone. I just finished filming 23 minutes and the microphone wasn't on. Super fucking duper. Hello again, my name is Gloria and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday we watched Bo Burnham's special. It's called Inside. It's on Netflix. I think absolutely everyone should watch it. I've always loved Bo Burnham, but this is a comedy music special that he filmed entirely by himself, edited, directed, everything himself. He's a very talented guy and he filmed it all and did everything while he was stuck inside for quarantine. If you know Bo Burnham, you'll love it, and if you haven't heard of him before, go and watch it. It is it's a complete experience. It's great. Today I have new nails. They're Galaxy. They're very clicky. Today I want to talk about my May wrap-up, so all the books that I read in May. I also have a stack of books to give away, so if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to be giving away some books that I'm not going to read again. It's not a competition or anything. First person to call dibs will get it. I'll post internationally. I just want to get rid of them, so pass the karma on, you know. So I haven't posted in a few weeks, and the reason is genuinely that I was really hot and really tired. That's the only reason. Just started back at work from working. I was working from home for months, sort of doing half days and stuff, and very quickly had to transition into commuting back into the office for 9 to 5 every single 5 days a week, and it was quite tiring. And also for someone like me, the social, having to speak to people, having to awkwardly move around people in corridors and stuff, also surprisingly exhausting. So I've just been coming in from work, managing to eat something and pretty much falling immediately to sleep, repeat the next day. So also it's horrifyingly warm in Ireland at the minute. I've been trying this everywhere because it's just it's not right. Us white Irish people, we weren't made for heat like this. It's just not, it's not okay. And my poor little nose, even though I've been wearing a mask doing from work, my nose got sunburned. Don't know how that happened, but we're not made for the sun. So yeah, that's basically why I haven't been posting. Nothing more serious than that. I didn't have the energy, and it's my channel. I can do what I want, pretty much. But I still have been reading, and I read 7 books in the month of May. So what are those books? I'll do the 2 physical ones first. So the 2 physical books that I read were very kindly sent to me by 2 Irish authors. The first one is Folklore by Chris Rush. Creepy hands there. This is the second tale. I think he has a series that are all based on sort of Irish myths and mythology. I mentioned in another video before, can't remember what it was called. It might have just been called The Banshee, but it was about the Banshee. This one is about the fairy folk and changeling. So it follows Stephen and Louise, who are a young couple with 2 boys, and Louise is also pregnant, and they move to a small house in a small cottage in the countryside, very near a ring fort, and fairy fort, ring fort, whatever you want to call it, and unwittingly call in the wrath of the Fae to them, who then try and punish them by trying to steal one of their children. So it is quite chilling. It's full of dread and creepiness, and as always with Chris Rush's writing, the characters are very down to earth, very sort of familiar seeming, because they're just your average Joe Soaps trying to make a family work, trying to work hard and provide for their family. So quite a classic Chris Rush one there with some Irish themes. The other physical book is Rise of One by Dixon Ruel, or aka Eve Power. So this is the first in a series of post-apocalyptic vampire zombie novel. So it's the apocalypse is a zombie apocalypse, so the world has been overridden by these monsters killing humans and turning them, and our main character Rise is a vampire who is safe in his little closed off house commune. They have different animals there, they're able to grow their own food and stuff, and he lives there with another female vampire, another male vampire, and they're one human who he is in a romantic relationship with. And they're sort of self-sustaining there, but he does realise they've been there for a few months now that this zombie apocalypse has been raging, and he realises that they will need more humans to sustain themselves. There are 3 of them and just 1 human, so they need more blood, and he thinks if he goes out and finds human survivors, he can offer them a place to stay. They can be a refuge for them, keep them safe from the zombies, and in exchange they just give him a little bit of blood, you know. But things go awry, and the people that they bring in at various points don't really like the fact that they are vampires. And there's also the werewolves to worry about, who are these cloaked figures who are trying to eradicate vampires, and we don't really know much about them, but they are trying to get rid of vampires, and they're trying to keep hidden that from the werewolves. And they're also, they believe that they're the last vampires in existence. They have never met any other vampires, so they don't really know much about their own species or existence. They sort of intuitively know how to do things, like they can put this spell over the house to keep the zombies out and stuff, but they're not really sure why they can make this protective spell or how they can turn other people into vampires. They're not sure how to do that, so it's very interesting. It's got vampires, zombies. The writing is absolutely fantastic. I love the writing in it. It's just really pulls you in. There's some really strong relationships between Rise and his boyfriend and the humans that they interact with. So if you're looking for a sort of a new age sort of zombie, new age vampire novel that isn't the usual stuff, you should definitely check it out. Also, vampires in the sun in this novel, the sun does affect them. It doesn't immediately light them on fire or anything, but their Blasco lines on through their skin do show up. And if you're not sure what Blasco lines are, I'll put a picture up. They're very interesting. Humans, we actually do have lines almost like a tiger or a zebra on our skin. We just can't see them, but you can see them under certain lights and stuff, and I just thought it was really interesting that she used that in this book, so check that one out. For the non-physical books that I read The Occultists by Polly Shattle. This one is set in the mid-1800s in America, and it sort of is surrounded by the world of spiritualism. It's set when spiritualism was at its height in America, and we follow this young boy called Max who is sort of unwittingly pulled into this 1,000-year war between sorcerers. He starts to work for this man who he thinks is just the local postmaster, but it turns out he holds a lot of seances, has his hand in a lot of pies, and deals with a lot of sorcery. And when Max's stepfather is killed by a horrible monster right in front of him, no one believes it, of course, and they believe that he actually murdered him. He has to take the help of this postmaster and run away to this guy's sorcery school where he meets other young people who are very talented with magic, and he has to sort of stumble his way along, figure out what is going on, what this organization is about, what these other organizations are about. And there's also a love interest in it, as he took the spot in this school that was originally for this girl that he fell in love with back at home. She has been training to go there, she has talents herself, but he took her spot, so there's some tension there as well. The writing in this is fantastic. There's a lot of use and mention of real world books, occultist books, real world occultist people and figures, so it really rooted it into sort of the real world and made it seem a lot more genuine, which was really fun. I really liked it. I believe, I'm just remembering because happy Pride Month, I think the author as well is a transgender woman, so you should definitely pick that up if you're looking for a queer book to read for the month of June. Absolutely love that one. I love spiritualism and occultism, so that one was really fun. This is my Goodreads bar chart, by the way. You can see I read a lot more in 2020. What else have I got? Okay, there's two that I won't talk about too much today because I'll be making another video on them, which are two that I read from my 1993 video. The one I read previous, that is going to be in that as well, was Nightmares and Dreamscapes by Stephen King. I have a lot of opinions about that book, but I also read The Robber Bride by Margaret Atwood and Endless Night by Richard Lehman. Both quite long books, that's why it took me so long to read them. Both got a lot of layers to them. I ended up liking both of them, but I have a lot of opinions about all the books for that video, so that will be an interesting one for me to talk about. The other two I read were two short story collections that were sent to me for review. The first one is Wasatch Witches, I hope I'm saying that right. I think it's stories exclusively about witches based in and around Utah in America, and it's a fantastic collection. There are sort of the old school witches, the solitary witches that live out in the woods by themselves and curse people, but there's also modern witches who speak to the dead and read tarot cards and stuff. There's a whole plethora of different kinds of stories in there, a couple of poems as well, and I really liked it. I don't think there were any misses. It was all hits for that one. And I love witches as well, so that did probably help. But also there's Howls from Hell, which has a foreword by Grady Hendrix, I believe. I'll be honest, I still have one story I think to read in that one, so I shouldn't have marked it off on my Goodreads yet, but whatever. But so far I've loved every story I've read in it. In particular, there is one that I cannot remember the name of, but it is very similar to a movie I mentioned in my movie video a few weeks ago, called The Possessor, where someone through technology, through sci-fi, can possess another person's body for a particular reason. In this case, it's sort of a new police force that you can summon into your body to protect you when you're getting mugged or someone has a gun to your head or something. So obviously there's a lot of bad things that can happen with that, but that story had me hooked. I came home from work about to fall asleep, as I have been doing, and it was so gripping and so exciting that I actually stayed awake for the rest of the evening reading it. So that's how good that was. So yeah, those two collections are fantastic. You should definitely check them out if you're looking for some new stories to read. So that, I think that's all of the books that I read. That's 7 books, and I enjoyed all of them in some way, although I do have a lot of opinions about the 1993 ones. So on to the books that I would like to give away. So first one I have here is a few of these. Actually, I realized I wanted to give them away when I did my bookshelf tour because they didn't really need to be there, but this is quite a chunker of a collection. It's Irish Ghost Stories, selected by Rosemary Gray. Interesting cover there. It was good. There were some interesting points in it. There is some incorrect Irish in this. There is a story that mentions the days of the week and they're wrong. I felt quite high and mighty figuring that out, even though I should have already known it. I would also like to say thank you to John from Books of Blood. He mentioned in a video a while back that he had started learning Italian on Duolingo and he started trying to learn Irish, but it was too difficult, which I can understand if you've never studied Irish before. It can seem like quite a strange language to learn, but that sort of prompted me to go back to my own Duolingo where I had been learning French and to start relearning Irish. We learn it all the way through school in Ireland, but you never really get the chance to use it after that, so I've started relearning again. I was called for jury duty recently as well, and it was just it was strange. It was interesting. I had to go to the courts building, and all of our signs in Ireland are in English and Irish, and I was actually able to read the sort of technical signs around the courts building, just because I've been learning on Duolingo, so that was interesting. But yeah, if you're interested, thank you for that, John. You're helping me relearn my native language. Blame the Brits. So if you're interested in this book, a lot of leprechauns, not so many ghosts. There are a few ghosts. There are actually a few good. So Bram Stoker has a story in this one, Oscar Wilde. Oh, the Canterville Ghost, very funny. There's also Douglas Hyde, Sheridan Le Fanu, Dorothy McCardle. There's some good authors included in this. It is sort of a 1800s, it's sort of an older collection, but it is good. Just a lot of leprechauns, which aren't ghosts, but if you're interested, let me know. Next up, we have Captives by Sean Hudson. I think I got this in a book box. It's about a set of murders that happened and a guy went to jail for them, but 10 or so years on, the murders start happening again. They're all eerily similar, but committed by various random people that don't seem to have a connection. So it's interesting. I think this may have been the book that I had all the post-it notes in it, because he kept using the same phrase like every 2 pages and it was driving me crazy. But if you are interested in this, if you want to check it out, you can let me know. I will send it to you. I also have Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. Just not really my thing. I think it's a little bit highbrow for me. I didn't really get it. But if you want to check it out, you can let me know. I also, in my last book box, I got another copy of The Fading. I had read this before, just not really my thing. It's about a guy who has been living with the ability to go invisible since he was a child, but he can't control it. So of course it happens at the most awful times and gets longer and longer as his life goes on and causes all sorts of issues. Christopher Ransom, good writer, weird author picture, but this story just wasn't for me. And last up I have White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. I think I read this for February's Women in Horror Month. It's a bit too literary horror for me. It's not even really horror, really. It's interesting. It's a little bit different. For me, it was just a little bit confusing. It's almost all in first person, and you get all these different characters' perspectives, so I wasn't quite sure who was talking, but it's about a girl, a twin, who has a twin brother, but the girl goes missing, and it's sort of going back along all of the steps that led up to her going missing. It's interesting, it's well written, but it's just not my thing. So if you are interested in any of those books, you can let me know and I will have them posted out to you. Happy Pride Month. I hope everyone's reading some good books, or buying some art from queer artists, or listening to some queer music artists as well. Lil Nas X has some banger tunes out right now. So I'm gonna shut up. I will have another video up tomorrow, maybe the next day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around on my unscheduled break. And I shall see you in the next video.